Hey, my workplace warriors, I hope that everyone is doing well, and I hope that you're ready for today's topic. Today's topic is, are you a bad employee? So I guess it's more of a question, but it is our topic. So we're going to look at an in-depth list of characteristics of bad employees, and what I want you to do is to carefully consider each one of these characteristics. Be very, very honest with yourself and assess yourself as an employee. And if you are guilty of any of these bad employee characteristics, let's do what needs to be done to change that, to make you a good employee. And as you know, I'm not going to bring you a list of bad characteristics of a bad employee and not tell you how you can work to include them, to improve that. So I will be giving you some nuggets on steps you can take to change your label from bad employee to good employee. And just to let you know, I am going to break this up in probably 3 to 4 sections. So today's section or session is part 1. As you know, I'm on a mission to help you live your very best career life, and so that's why we are looking at these items on today. So let's get started. First of all, do you lack work ethic? Be honest. So what you need to do is determine, what are your motivations? Why are you not doing your work? Understand why you're not putting in your effort, because I would challenge you that it's not because you can't do your job. Because when you were hired because you possessed the characteristics, the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and the previous experience that equipped you for success in your position. So just think about whether or not you're bored. We can outgrow jobs. Maybe it's time for you to move on to something that challenges you a little bit more. Is there a lack of interest? That can happen too. You can be keenly interested in a certain job to begin with, and then over time, as you continue to grow and develop professionally, you may lose interest, and your interest may go over to another area of expertise, and that's fine. Just don't stay in the position that you have lost interest in. Seek out opportunities that align with your current interest. Or is it something else? Did you have a bad experience with a manager or with a colleague that it caused you to lose interest or no longer be motivated to perform this job? Just think about it. You don't always have to have the answer right off the cuff, but I'm giving you some food for thought. So what you need to do is you need to set realistic goals. That's step 1 of making sure that you turn things around. If it is that you're overwhelmed with the work that you have to do, break your tasks down into smaller, manageable steps, and then celebrate small victories to stay motivated. If lack of motivation is the reason why you've stepped away or put your work ethics aside. And the victories can be very small. If you write an email response on time to someone, then that's a small victory. Celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Next, you may want to find a mentor, someone who can speak positivity into you, can encourage you, and if it's someone who is familiar, has a firsthand familiarity with your work, that person probably from the outside can give you some pointers that you may not see that you need to make changes in. So seek guidance from a trusted colleague or a mentor who can offer support to you and advice, not to beat you down, but to help you to see the areas that you may need to change and make changes in, and give you some ideas on how you can make those changes or steps you need to take to make those adjustments. Then develop a passion. Try to find something interesting or fulfilling about your work. Like, what interested you in that particular position in the first place, and what still brings you joy or a high level or sense of accomplishment or a high level of fulfillment about the job. Even though the way that you feel about the job may have changed some, there's probably still a spark of something about that job that makes you proud that you are the person doing that job. And so taking these steps can help you to stay engaged and motivated. Now, number 2 is poor communication skills. And that is a very broad topic, and it can be written communication or verbal communication. However, I can tell you many times, the first area or type of communication that typically causes people problems on the job is their verbal communication skills. Either they don't give enough detail when they are helping customers, or when they're explaining a work-related challenge to their manager or a colleague, or they're, for lack of a better description, smart mouth. And that gets them into trouble, or their tone is inappropriate. So let's look at this a little more deeply. For one, and this is awesome, practice active listening. That means you need to pay attention to what others are saying, ask questions for clarity, and avoid interrupting. Oh gosh, that is one of my pet peeves. If I'm trying to explain something to you, the last thing I want to be is interrupted, because I know, for one thing, you're going to interrupt my train of thought, and I may in turn unintentionally not provide you with all of the information that you need. Or it may be a situation where you just don't get the entire thought process, because then I'm going to have to start over from square one to make sure that I provide you with the entire thought process without being interrupted. Another thing is interrupting another person when they are speaking and when they truly should have the floor is just rude. It's plain out rude. So don't do that. Express yourself clearly. Use simple, direct language, and avoid jargon or acronyms. Oh gosh, at work, at my current job, we have so many acronyms, and some of the acronyms may have one meaning in one area and then another meaning in another area. So we've been holding ourselves accountable to try and we've been telling colleagues, hold us accountable too, to stop us and say, what does that stand for? So that way we're making ourselves more self-aware when we're using acronyms and assuming that everyone knows what we are talking about or referring to. Be mindful of your tone, what did I tell you? And your body language. don't make faces of disgust or short patience or what have you when a person is speaking with you. Listen to what they have to say intently. Listen for understanding and comprehension, and also have a welcoming, open body language that lets them know that you are receiving their input. Then seek feedback. Ask for feedback from colleagues on your communication skills. Find out whether they have a hard time understanding what you say, or whether you have a little attitude when you speak with them. And another great thing that you could do is take a communication course. Consider taking a course that helps you to improve your skills, and this can go this can apply either to verbal communication skills or nonverbal, which is body language and facial expressions and what have you, or to improve your written communication skills. So keep that in mind. Just a little food for thought. A negative attitude is number 3. The third characteristic of a bad employee. Change your negative thoughts. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. And I know many people will say, "Oh, I can't help it." Yes, you can. You've chosen to have a negative attitude, and you make that choice. So if you make the choice to have a positive attitude, to turn that negative attitude around, just have positive affirmations. For me, is not only positive affirmations, but Bible verses, and then just positive self-talk. Because sometimes we're mad at ourselves, which causes us to express misplaced anger towards others just because. Practice gratitude. I don't care what the situation is, there is something that you can be grateful about. So focus on the things you're grateful for in your life. I just watched a news report this morning where a FedEx truck somehow rammed into the living room of a man's home. And he said that normally he would be, at that time, he would have been sitting in his living room. At this particular time, he happened to be in the shower. And so the news reporter asked him, how grateful was he? And he said, words could not express. Now, he has a big gaping hole in his home now, but he is grateful for the fact that he is still alive, that he was not sitting in the living room when a FedEx truck came through it. Seek support. Talk to a friend. Talk to a family member, or seek mental health professional help about your feelings. If you're constantly in a dark place, mood-wise or mentally, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself or others, or that you could, then seek out support. If you're currently working, then your job probably offers an EAP, or Employee Assistance Program. See, I told you what that acronym stands for. And just seek out professional support, because sometimes it helps for us when we're dealing with unresolved negative feelings or thoughts. Sometimes it's better to speak with not only a trained professional, but someone who does not know us on a personal level, so that we don't feel judged. And then that person also is professionally trained, so they can give us scientifically backed recommendations on how to turn that negativity around and to support us. Then find a hobby. Sometimes we work too much and we don't spend enough time pouring into ourselves and others, and that can cause negative emotions and negative behavior. So find a hobby, and if it's something that you know that others are interested in, engage with them either online or in your community. So make sure that you have activities within your life that are not work related. The fourth characteristic is unreliability. And unreliability makes you not prioritize your time. You need to use time management techniques like the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize your tasks. Set realistic goals, set achievable goals, and avoid overcommitting yourself. Manage stress, because stress is real, y'all. Life is full of stress. Everything doesn't always go the way that we would like for them to go. So find healthy ways to manage your stress, like exercise, meditation, prayer, spending time outside in nature and just observing and appreciating the beauty of nature. Communicate proactively. If you're going to be late or absent, let your manager know, and do so in accordance with the expectations that they have set. If they want you to speak with them directly to tell them that you're going to be out, and it's not like an emergency situation where you had an accident or something, call your manager and let them know. If they don't mind you leaving a text or a voice message, feel free to do so. But make sure you communicate proactively to let them know that you won't be at work as planned, or whether you're going to be out the entire day, whether you're just going to be late, or whether you're going to need to maybe come in late or leave early. And when possible, give them advance notice. But we all know that life situations happen that are outside of our control and unexpected. So sometimes there are going to be last minute notifications, but handle it professionally. Also, number 5, which is last on today's list, but it is by no means the last characteristic that I want to share with you. And that is a lack of initiative. So step outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes we get so accustomed to doing things a certain way at a certain time on a certain day with a certain person that we get comfortable and complacent, and then when things changed, maybe that colleague that you were working on the project with got a promotion or left the company for another opportunity. Well, guess what? You have to be a big boy, a big girl, and pull that professional out in you and show your management and your peers that you're able to handle the responsibility well. And so challenge yourself to try new things and take on new responsibilities at work. Let your manager or supervisor know that you are ready to take on new work challenges. Ask for more work, and that kind of goes with the new challenges. I mean, don't be crazy. You can't work 2 full-time positions, but maybe there is a position that a certain aspect of what it does interests you. And you can let your manager know, and hopefully they'll be able to set up an arrangement where you can get better exposure to that area of the other position that you feel like you will gain great fulfillment from. And seek feedback once again. And if you notice, all through this it's saying to seek feedback. Why? Because we should be open to constructive feedback, not feedback that tears us down, but constructive feedback that helps us to be an even better employee. So ask for feedback on your performance and areas where you can improve. Develop a growth mindset. And this is so important because so many of us lack that growth mindset. We immediately navigate towards the negative instead of thinking about the positive and being open to growth, for lack of a better description. Believe that you can learn and grow, because if you don't believe that you can learn and grow, guess what? You won't learn and grow. And you don't want to be your own biggest stumbling block. And embrace challenges as opportunities for development and growth, and look at it as a welcomed challenge that you are able to conquer. So there you have it. That's characteristics 1 through 5 of a bad employee, but not only characteristics 1 through 5 of a bad employee, but also I incorporated suggestions on how you can turn that around and become a good employee. So, like I said, I'm on a mission to help you live your best career life, and this is one of those steps. Also, if you know someone else who is on a journey to living their best career life, please like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're looking on, if you're viewing this on YouTube. When you like, share, and subscribe, it lets YouTube know that this is useful content and that they need to push it out to more viewers like you so that I can help more people. So if you stopped by for the first time today, welcome. I hope you'll come back. If you've been here before, welcome back. And until next time, career success to you.